Great.
Yes.
Great. Here comes then.
Okay.
Test. Yibbidi. All right. Good on volume. You haven't heard that standard test sound before?
I have not heard that one. No. I'm used to.
Yeah. I have. Today I'm feeling my oats. I think that means I'm horny. I'm not feeling my oats.
No, sowing your oats would be.
Oh, it's sowing your oats?
Well, sowing your oats is like taking care of your horniness. Like
maybe you feel your oats, then you sow them.
I've never heard of feeling your oats.
Oh, now I gotta know.
Yeah,
you know what?
I've never heard that phrase. It might be a phrase, and I'm not doubting you. But
I'm gonna do it at the top of the show because that's a fun thing to look up and figure out.
All right. Yes, I like this.
All right, here goes. We begin the show in 3, 2, 1.
This is Boris Karloff speaking. I'm here with a story for you from the files of the Reader's Digest. The man on the operating table was suffering from a tumor on the brain. Swiftly, the surgeon and newly graduated intern went to work. A few hours later, the patient died.
The diarrhea specialist. This is the Morning Stream. Behave yourselves.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Morning Stream. It is August 1st, 2019. A brand new month, a brand new day. Welcome to the new day. Is that a song?
A brand new day. No, it's not. It is. Okay. Sting had a song called Brand New Day.
Yeah. I thought it was like
the clock to zero, honey. I've understand and found my money. I haven't sex for 3 whole days. I think that's how it goes, right?
Was that from his yellow album, Yellow Gold, Fields of Gold? What was it?
Fields of Gold? Fields of Yellow. Fields of Yellow.
Fields of Yellow Gold, something like that?
Yeah. You remember me when I took a pee and turned the fields of yellow.
I used to think that was a really good album. I used to think that was great. I don't know if it is.
A really good album.
Is it good or was I just? Yeah.
No, it is a good album.
Okay.
Because what do you got on there? I mean, for me, Dream of the Blue Turtles is my jam. The first solo Sting album.
Oh right.
Because you've got that Anne Rice, Interview with a Vampire song. You've got the Russians. You've got the. If you love somebody, set them free. Love is the seventh wave. I listened to that thing. So when I was 15 and 11 months,
yeah.
My
boy,
dad
that is oddly
me,
specific, by the way. 15 and 11 months.
Actually, 15, 11 months and 3 weeks. Okay. We'll get even more specific.
Jeez,
wow. My dad took me on a trip to England, and because this is where his side of the family is from, so we kind of went through. Started in London, spent a few days there, did all the touristy stuff, but not really as much touristy. I mean, my dad's from there, so it's not like he said, "All right, now we're going to go see Big Ben." But we did do stuff like Tower of London, and we went by Big Ben and Westminster Abbey. We went and checked out a bunch of cathedrals and grave sites.
This wasn't
and
the trip
like
you
that.
did the what do you call it, monument thing. You went with your wife to that.
We did go to Stonehenge on this trip too.
Oh, okay.
And we spent a lot more time there than the trip that Tina and I took, where we sprinted around Stonehenge because we spent too much time in can't remember the town that's close by there. That's a whole nother story because we also got accosted by a gypsy and cursed.
Whoa!
I've talked about that. I've talked about that on the show.
Oh yeah, we did, because we had that whole conversation about whether you can say gyp anymore or not. Remember that?
Oh right.
Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
They want to be called Armani.
Romani. Yes, I got accosted by Romani and
I said Armani,
cursed.
Like the suit. Armani. I was accosted by Armani. Anyway.
All right. So one of the first things that we did in London, I had my Walkman with me at the time and about 5 cassettes.
Okay.
I can even tell you, like, one of them was Squeeze Cool for Cats. Another one was Sparks pulling mussels out of a hat, or pulling rabbits out of a hat. I'm confusing my Squeeze and my Sparks.
Easy to do. Sure.
But this brand new album from the guy who's the lead singer of the Police had just come out. It was Dream of the Blue Turtle, Sting's first solo album. And so one of the first things we did, we stopped at a record store and I picked it up. And the copy I got, didn't realize until 2 or 3 listens, had the labels reversed on the cassettes. So the side 1 was printed on side 2, side 2 was printed on side 1.
Oh, really? Weird.
Yeah. And for that whole trip, and I was there for 2 weeks. It was the trip that went over my 16th birthday, so that's why I was oddly specific about the date.
Yeah.
For that whole trip, we spent in London, taking the tube everywhere. And when my dad and I weren't talking or playing a game or whatever on the train, I was listening to the Sting album. Listened to it over the entire country, and we went from London up to Scotland to the East, Blackpool, and met so many of my family members, extended family members and stuff. Great grandmother lived there. Mm-hmm. And I'll always associate that album with that trip. And every time I hear those songs, it's me on the train with this book that I picked up that I didn't realize was about a TV show called The Young Ones. I picked it up thinking it just was a funny book.
Yeah.
I still have it.
Wow.
And that entire trip, it's an album that there's no way an album will surpass that one for me.
Well, a 15-year-old is an impressionable age, man. So
totally is.
It's easy to lock in. Like if you're everything when I was 15, I associate with certain things. Like if I even hear the words Back to the Future, I'm 15 again.
Right.
Like
right.
It just has that immediate effect on me. So I totally get it.
Totally does.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Well done, Sting. You've implanted
Good job,
yourself
Sting.
deeply in, you've penetrated Brian deeply. Well done.
Oh,
hey, ho. Hey, real quick, I want to get to the bottom of something that came up at the top of the show. I was talking about feeling your oats, and you said sowing, or no, what was it, the other one?
Sowing your oats.
Sowing your oats.
Is the phrase I've always heard. I've never heard the phrase feeling your oats.
Oats. All right, so...
Can one feel their own oats, or must they have someone feel their oats for them?
Well, according to Idioms by thefreedictionary.com, I'm not looking at Urban Dictionary because it'll send us in strange directions.
Yeah, probably good.
I don't want to see how they feel their oats. But here it is. To feel one's oats. To be very active and energetic. And here's a usage case. The dog must be feeling his oats, considering how he's running around the yard today. Or to be aware of one's own power or importance. For example, if you sassed the boss like that, you must be feeling your oats. Yeah, so I remember hearing that.
I've never heard that phrase before.
Now, in your case, sowing your
sowing,
oats. There is... Oh, it came up blank. Let's see here.
SOWING, not SEW.
Yeah, that's what I had, but for some reason, it still says nothing.
Really? Here, let me give you a link.
Google it. Sowing your oats. SOWING.
Uh-huh.
Oh, here it is. Sowing your wild oats.
Sowing your wild oats, yeah. Rainbow Bright says royal oats, too. And ICU says royal oats.
Royal? I've never heard royal oats. That's crazy. Yeah. Okay, so that one says, to enlarge a rebelliousness or promiscuity, typically in one's youth before settling down.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the one. Here's the first definition that came up for me. To spread one's genes around by impregnating many females.
Holy crap.
Impregnating many females.
Yeah.
With the lamentation of the women.
All right. So when I was hearing it wrong growing up, but the meaning for me when I heard somebody say feeling your oats was that it was like, dude, I'm kind of horny and I'm gonna. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. So you were connecting the meaning of sowing one's oats with feeling one's oats. However, there is a feeling one's oats that, like I said, I've never. Maybe you feel them, but you don't sow them because sowing them would get everybody pregnant. So,
right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's hold on, keep your oats private.
Yeah, keep your oats to yourselves.
Don't spread your oats around unless you're Daryl Hall.
Keep your oats in your pants. That's Daryl Hall's famous saying, keep your oats in your pants, he'd say. Was Oates the mustache guy, right?
Oates was the mustache guy, John Oates.
They're easier to keep separate than a lot of other combo acts.
They really are. I still, even though Tom told me yesterday, I still don't know which one's Hobbs and which one's Shaw.
I don't know either, actually. I still don't. Apparently that thing is... let's take a look at Rotten Tomatoes real quick, just for fun.
Is it doing well?
Fast and the Furious presents Shobbs and Haw.
Shobbs and Haw.
First and the Furious. 72%. It's not bad. It seems like a popular thing to be watching, right? That seems all right.
Yeah.
A crowd pleaser at that level. Let's see.
I like that. I mean, it's still second or third on my list. I really want to see the new Tarantino business.
Yeah.
And then once I've seen that, then we'll move on to Calvin and Hobbes and Shaw and The Lion King.
Yep. I heard an interview this morning with Tarantino. He says,
I like feet.
He starts. Well, that's always the first thing he starts with. I like feet. And then he said, he said DiCaprio's character in this movie is bipolar, and it will help people to know that going in. So he didn't mean it as a spoiler. It's not like a big revelation. He's saying he believes that this character, even though in the 60s we didn't really have a diagnosis for this, he believes his character is bipolar, and said if you know that going into the movie, you'll enjoy the movie even more. So for whatever that's worth, that's what Tarantino says. Yeah, show me your feet at the end of the interview, and then he was out. That was it.
All right, that was his closing remarks.
Yeah, he's still one of my favorite interviews I ever heard was a NPR Fresh Air interview. Terry Gross interviewed him. Still one of the best interviews I've ever heard.
Really?
And I'm not even like a lavish myself at Tarantino kind of fan. I just like it. I like his movies, and it's fine. But I'm not that big of. It's not that big of a deal to me. But there was something about that particular interview, completely enlightening, about how to, go for your passions, not your feet, but movie making. Like, if you want to make a movie real bad, you should go make a movie, and it doesn't matter what state you find yourself in. If you really want to do it, you'll figure out a way, and that kind of stuff. It was really, I found that to be one of the most inspiring things, and it was on the podcast for Fresh Air, Rainbow Bright. It was the Fresh Air show. You just Google Fresh Air and you'll find it.
We listened to a Fresh Air on the way to Santa Fe about upspeak and vocal fry, and is it hurting women in journalism because they're not taken seriously if they have a little bit of upspeak or vocal fry, and it's a really, really good. It was a really good interview, and man, yeah, Terry Gross is just amazing.
She's great, dude. She's been doing this for like 40 years or something. She's like some kind of insane person. Yeah. Anyway,
like an insane person.
Well, why don't we bring an insane person on the show?
Boy, that Terry Gross interviews people like an insane person.
She really does. There's such insanity to her work. We don't know what to do with her.
Yes, you're right. Speaking of insanity.
Yep. We're bringing on a bit of an insane here today. Today's the final Thursday of the month, which is, I think, a thing we're going to do from now on.
Well, it's the first Thursday of the month. Did you say the final Thursday?
You know what? You're right. It's for some reason I had in my head that it would be we'd always do this on the last Thursday of the month. But then I screwed up thinking...
It's probably a good idea, seeing that I'm a hoot and a holler. So best to clear the boards.
You are.
And it's interesting that you were talking about the foot thing.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay,
yeah,
well, do tell.
Tell us more. What do you have? What kind of deep, dark stuff do you have? Tell us.
Okay, so I dated a boss of mine for a little bit. Very strange
like a really
guy.
Good idea. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I got a pay rise.
Yeah.
So I dated him for a little bit, and he was into some weird stuff, and he took me to a very exclusive club. We're talking eyes wide shut sort of stuff.
Really?
There was some weird. Yeah.
I mean, to that level, like where there's people writhing around naked on couches and.
Yeah. Well.
There was different things in different rooms. That's all I'll say. But they had certain rooms for certain things. So I dragged my poor friend Eva along because I just needed backup. So I dragged her along, and it was all a bit weird for us both. So we went to the relax room. Where you can just sit down and have a bit of a calming moment after seeing a man in a cage with something stuck up his.
What the crap is this thing?
We went to the relax room, and this guy was coming around on the floor, taking all the girls' shoes off and trying to suck their feet.
Ew!
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm not harshing, I'm not yucking your yum, everybody, but gross.
Well, we had clean feet.
But he didn't know that.
No, well, that's true. And supposedly he actually liked the muckier the better. Yeah. So my friend Eva, she was like, no chance. I'm leaving my shoes on. This guy's a freak. And I was like, you know what? Go with the flow. I took my shoes off, and I let this, and he wasn't a bad looking guy either.
In this guy's pie hole like there was no tomorrow.
Yeah, I let him suck my toes, and can I say, big thumbs up from this person.
Really enjoyable.
It feels really good.
No, it doesn't. It's terrible.
Did it?
No,
Did it take a minute to kind of get past the stigma of it, or were you just at that point being in this place? It's like, well, pretty much anything goes, whatever, and you succumb
Brian,
to it pretty quickly.
You've nailed it. Once you've seen all the stuff in the other rooms that's going on, I won't go into it. But when you get to the relax room, you're just like, oh, and you're like, well, there's a guy just wants to suck your toes. Okay, fine, because all that other stuff is just so messed up.
Okay, I get the idea. I get the idea that there's like a comparison thing going on where it can't be as worse as what I just saw in the foyer. So this will be what we'll do. It's the foot thing. That's the least.
Well, the meteor just, took out most of South America. But I stubbed my toe. I guess it's not that bad.
In other words, like I want to make this very clear to everybody listening. I have zero problem with some dude who's all into the feet and the toes and the whatnot. Go for it. It's your life, and as long as you can find a bunch of consenting adults that are into it, have at it, man. Go for it. But I don't think I could watch it. I don't think I could be there. It would just make me so like cringy. I'd be like, ugh. I'd be crawling up the ceiling by the time that was done.
Well, it's one of those weird things. It's one of the things that I've always thought through my life. I need to experience something at least once. And the only way that you can judge whether you're into it or not is if you experience it for the first time, and then you can walk away and go, okay, not my deal.
Yeah.
Not my thing. Not really into it.
I'm going to live vicariously through you.
This guy sucking the toes put 100% in.
Yeah, no, of course he did. Look, I'm going to put my faith is in you to have lived this vicariously. You are my surrogate. My toes have been sucked person, and I don't need to do it now because I've lived it through you. So I'm good.
That's it. Vicariously live through me. It's fine. I've pretty much done the whole deal. But we're not here for that. We're here for an 80s movie quiz.
Yes,
we are indeed.
Before I talk about
just give you all these saucy stories before I do these really pure 80s movie quizzes.
Right.
I'm just like, here's the dirty crap, and then we'll move on to
people probably request more of it, to be honest. They really like it when you're on here. So here's your theme for this. It's time for an 80s quiz with Gidget Von LaRue, and she is from Australia. It's like 2 a.m. there, some crazy number like that. And,
it's 1:21 a.m. I've had 3 glasses of wine. And
there's a man on each foot.
I'm all sorted for this.
Yeah, there's a man on each foot, making sure all the toes are taken care of.
That's
they won't bother us.
My partner won't do. He won't suck my toes. So I'm just like, dude, let's reconsider things.
Yeah. Well, if you ever met Tarantino, I think he might like you more than you realize at this point. All right, hey.
Yeah, look out, Uma. I'm coming in. Just hire me for one of your movies. You can suck away.
All right, lay it on us. I have no idea.
Digit Uma.
Yeah, Digit Uma. I have no idea what to expect here today because you haven't really given us a preview of what today's quiz will be. We know it'll be 80s related, film related, but I'm excited for this. So lay it on us and let's see if Brian or I have the chops this week.
All right, so if I remember the last couple of weeks, I think, Scott, you started first.
Yeah, I did.
So I think we'll start off with Brian.
Okay, fair enough.
You happy with that?
Oh, it's all the same, really.
Oh, yeah. What the hell? Let's just go crazy.
So I'm odds.
We just talked about toe sucking. We know how else worse going to get. Okay. All right, so my number one question is, what was Tom Hanks' first movie he starred in the lead?
All right, so let's see here. And we're talking theatrical release, right?
Yes, movie release.
Okay. Because I remember we were watching him on Bosom Buddies, and then he did this thing on TV called Mazes and Monsters, which was like a Dungeons and Dragons thing, but that was a TV, like a made-for-TV movie.
And he did Buddy Buddy or something like that, but this is his first theatrical release.
Yeah. And I'm leaning towards Bachelor Party, and I'm trying to remember if there was anything before that had him in a starring role. I don't think there was. I'm going to say Bachelor Party.
Okay. Sorry. Stop.
I think that there may have been a production like it started production first for Bachelor Party, but I think Splash was the first one.
Oh, I think you're right.
That is correct.
Baby. Woo!
Yes.
Brian, I'm right there with you though. I was feeling the same.
They were both 1984.
Yeah.
And he was actually in 13 movies in the 80s, more than Harrison Ford.
Jeez,
oh
Louise.
wow,
that's crazy.
So those did come out in the same year. I just put
Same
for whatever
year,
reason Bachelor Party before Splash for whatever.
You're
reason.
not crazy. I do this exact freaking thing with those two movies, or with his career at all. Like to me, it was like his Porky's movie because he couldn't get any other gigs, and it was like this one dirty, weird little comedy. And then all of a sudden he was everywhere, but it was always like that was the beginning. And
that was the thing, right? I mean, he'd done, this wholesome like bosom buddies. I mean, as wholesome as a show about two guys who cross-dressed to be able to live in a cheap women's apartment building.
But to be fair to you, Brian, I honestly thought it was Bachelor Party as well.
Oh,
he
really?
Looked younger. Okay. He looked younger in that. To me, he looked younger. I thought Splash was the movie after, but I did a lot of research into this, and Splash was the first. I believe movie.
I completely trust you.
Yep.
Oh, well, you're a stupid man then.
Here's my toast.
Trust an Australian woman.
Nice.
All right. So Brian. All right. So which now this is
Scott's question. Evens or
sorry, Scott.
Yeah.
All right, Scott. So you can tell I've had 3 glasses of wine.
Yeah.
So which of these films, Scott, was directed by Steven Spielberg? And I'll give you the list.
Okay.
Was it Gremlins, The Goonies, Always, and The Burbs? And chat room, stop giving the answers.
Oh, I'm not looking at them.
Yeah, we both have the chat
very
room
naughty.
muted.
Yeah, I have them.
And hi to the chat room, by the way.
I have them muted. I know the answer. The question is which of those did you direct, or which of those are?
Yeah. So which of these films was directed by Steven Spielberg? Was it Gremlins, The Goonies, Always, or The Burbs?
The answer is Always, the airplane one.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Richard Dreyfuss, Holly Hunter. Yep. Gremlins was directed by Joe Dante. The Goonies was directed by Richard Donner, and The Burbs was directed by Joe Dante.
Nice. Yeah, Joe Dante would go on to do I may not have this right. I think the third Jurassic Park might be his.
Oh, really?
Because him and Spielberg are buddies all the time, and these are all Amblin Entertainment things, which is kind of the trick of the question, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That reminds me as well, because in the last podcast I said Ash in the Alien movie was down in the vents, and it wasn't Ash, it was Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas.
And I had a lot of people write to me going,
"Oh, really?
You got that
I didn't
wrong."
Bet you say that. Yeah, Ash was the cyborg. It was Ian Holm, right?
Ian Holm is the cyborg. Yeah.
Ian Holm, and it was Tom Merritt.
Tom Merritt.
I think that was
not Tom
that was
Merritt.
Dallas. Yeah, not Tom Merritt.
Tom Skerritt. Tom Skerritt.
Tom Skerritt. Yeah.
Yeah,
Tom Merritt would be very happy about
Tom
that.
Tom Merritt is not him.
Tom Merritt would have had better tech down there instead of a little thing that said 2 little red dots that were coming at each other.
That's true.
He would have listened. It's like, don't go there.
Oh, by the way, the day I realized that Bilbo had his head cut off and sat on a table and talked to Ripley was one of the weirdest days.
Milk.
Oh, yeah. What an odd thing to even think about. John Hurt, too. John Hurt's the one with the bursted chest
John Hurt
thing.
had the chest burster, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway.
Yeah, and he did the comedy again, I think, in the Mel Brooks movie. With the dancing
he's great.
alien fetus.
Oh, right. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling.
Hello, my darling. Hello, my honey pie.
He's great.
Yeah.
Freaking love him. Miss him. He was a force, man. All right, I'm up 2. I just want to put the score out there.
You are up 2, yes.
Yeah, Brian, your turn.
Yeah, okay, so it's Brian.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, number 3, according to, and this is a multi, I'll give you some options.
Choices. Okay, good.
I'll give you choices, baby. Okay, according to School Secretary Grace, what do the sportos, the motorheads, the geeks, the sluts, the bloods, the wastoids, the dweebies, and the dickheads all adore Ferris Bueller? Was it they think he's a cool dude, they think he's an awesome dude, they think he's a righteous dude, or they think he's a fantastic dude?
They think he's a righteous dude.
Yes.
Yes.
Yay.
That one's great because you can hear her say it.
Yes, he's a righteous dude. I actually could have done that without the choices.
Dude.
Oh, I have a recommendation.
Right before that, she pulls 9 pencils out of her hair.
That's right. I have a recommendation, actually. Everybody watch the new season or the new slate of Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. I was shocked that one of my favorite. There's a bunch of good ones, but my favorite ended up being the Matthew Broderick one.
Really?
And not for any kind of Ferris Bueller reasons. Just he's a riot, but in the most like dry way. And he had Jerry in stitches constantly. I was dying. It was really funny. So.
We watched the Eddie Murphy one, which was really good and surprising. And
yeah.
God, how could you be in that restaurant with Jerry Seinfeld and Eddie Murphy a few tables over? I was looking in the background to see where the people are. There's always people who are like looking over like, oh man, there's Jerry Seinfeld. In this one, everyone was just cool. Like someplace in LA where, whatever, Jerry's over there with Eddie Murphy, big deal.
Yeah.
Give me some more.
There must be those places though that it's just there's celebrities everywhere.
Maybe.
Because where else do they go? But I love that, Scott, that Matthew Broderick is such an awesome dude.
Oh, he's so freaking funny. And
he's a righteous dude.
And he looks like...
he is a righteous dude.
He looks like his own grandfather. Like he's old now, and he looks it, but his voice hasn't changed, and his demeanor is just the funniest freaking thing. And I know he's controversial in some ways because he got in some horrible accident where somebody died once, and weird stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Forget about all that. Just watch this episode and laugh your head off and
forget about it.
Yeah.
How much of the conversation is about Inspector Gadget? I'm expecting like 20 of the 30 minutes they just talk ad nauseum about Inspector Gadget.
Funny enough, none of it.
None?
Yeah,
it's not even brought up.
It's not even brought up. They talk about the producers a lot. They talk about,
if you think about it, all actors have made a turkey at one point.
Yes.
Like even actors that we respect and love so much that you think their entire catalogue is brilliant. There's some crap movie.
Yeah, like Tom Hanks. I don't know if you guys have seen Bachelor Party, the aforementioned Bachelor Party, but it's garbage.
Oh, don't you besmirch Bachelor Party.
That's not a good movie.
I'd say Bonfire of the Vanities is your Tom Hanks clunker.
Yeah,
Tom Hanks
but that was a whole bunch of people getting clunked at once.
Come on, you've got that dude who's all coked up, and it looks like Howie Mandel, and you've got that teen heartthrob dude whose last name begins with Z, and I can't remember his last name because I keep thinking of Daphne Zuniga, but it's obviously not Daphne Zuniga. Adrian Zmed.
Oh yeah, you've converted me.
Donkeys.
Yeah, there's
donkeys.
And
there's that girl that walks in with that amazing body. And yeah, Tawny Katane, who I met in Hawaii at the Kahala Hilton, and she was dating the lead singer of Whitesnake.
Yeah,
really?
Coverdale. Was she rolling around? Did you meet her while she was rolling around on the hood of a Mustang?
They were in some cafe or something, and he was a total dick, and she was lovely, and my brother was all over her, and she was so sweet, and she kissed him on the cheek, and he didn't wash that cheek for the rest of the vacation.
Wow. David Coverdale,
and she was hot.
Yeah. What was the song on the car? What was that one?
Here I go again
on my own. Going down the only road I've ever known. That's so bad. So bad. Oh my gosh, the hairman.
So let's walk it back on any bachelor party.
Oh right, you're right. I take it off.
It's fun. Watch it again, Scott. Watch it again because it is just dumb fun, and you can understand why Tom Hanks. But yeah, that was the shocks. All right, so next question.
Yeah.
All right.
Got to be Scott.
Oh,
Yep, it's Scott. What is the first thing to attack Robbie in Poltergeist?
Oh, geez.
And quiet chat room.
I'm not looking at them. They are minimized during
but I know it.
Contests. You do know it?
I do know it.
Robbie? Did you say?
Yep, Robbie. Yeah. So the son that was in the original Poltergeist. What was the first thing that attacked him? Poor kid. He got the worst of it, really.
He really did.
Carol Ann got taken to another dimension, but Robbie just kind of copped it.
He got screwed, and Coach didn't believe any of this till the end.
That's right.
Yeah.
I guess my house just vaporized. Okay, I believe it now.
Robbie. Oh my gosh, you guys! I can't think. You know how long it's been since I've seen that movie?
It has been a long time for me too. Although, again, one that I can't believe we haven't done for Film Sack because I can imagine that some of it does not hold up.
I really don't remember. Okay,
I would be happy to come into bat for Poltergeist if you had me on Film Sack because I think maybe it's a generational thing that, I saw it way too young. And I still think it's awesome, and there's bits that still scare the hell out of me.
Dude, I think that movie's great. We should film sack it. We just I don't think it's ever been streaming, but the thing I love about that movie is at the time it wasn't like it was a scary movie. Yes, no question it had its scares, but it was kind of the most mainstream horror movie I'd ever seen. Like, it just kind of got out there in a way that no other horror movies had. And it was, I feel like my family went. I feel like that's the first time I saw it was like with my mom and dad and my sisters. Pretty sure we all saw it together, and that was unheard of then.
I think that's a common thing though, because my grandmother took my brother and I to see it. So, I think it didn't have the movie regulations on it at the time.
Right.
So you could just parents at the time could just take their kids to see basically
Right.
anything.
This was still PG, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just like, come and see this. And there's that whole debate, did Tobe Hooper direct it or did Steven Spielberg direct it? Because Steven Spielberg was directing E.T. at the time.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of controversy about that, and you've got to answer the question.
He was super, I know we're putting this off, but he was so involved and so in it that he kind of did direct it sort of by proxy, which is kind of funny. But anyway, all right, I seriously don't remember. I'll just say... I don't even think it was him, but the steak with the maggots in it attacked him. No?
Nope. Okay.
Nope.
Over to Brian. Brian, what
cameraman,
first directed Robbie?
All right, so
What first attacked Robbie?
it was one of two things, and I'm thinking it would have to be the second of two things. The first, or one of the first, was the tree coming through the window.
Yes.
But I think
Yes.
Oh, should I stop?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
All right,
no
'cause
way
I
to
never-
answer a question. You have to say tree, or you don't get to go. Now, I was thinking it could be these 5 other things. Anything?
No,
Anything?
no,
Oh,
He
okay.
said the tree first off. He said the tree.
I shouldn't, because I was gonna say it was.
Everyone thinks it's the clown. Everyone thinks it's the
I
clown
thought it was
that
the
first
clown. I thought it was
attacks
the
him.
puppet.
No.
Because that scared the crap out of me to the point where I left the theater to go pee. and I never leave a theater to go pee. So I don't feel right about taking a point for that. I shouldn't get a point for that.
I'll leave it up to.
Because I would have said that. I would have said the puppet.
I'll leave it up to Gidget.
I forgot to name anyone to keep the score.
Oh, I'm keeping.
The chat room are keeping the
2-1,
score.
Scott.
Yeah, I'm
Right now it's still
keeping
2-1, Scott.
I'm keeping a list here, so we're 2-1.
All right, so yeah, it was the tree first, and then it was the clown second when it wrapped its arms
dang.
around him and looked under the bed.
Yeah.
Because why would he be back in his room after the tree came through the window to be there for the clown? I thought the clown was like, oh God, the clown, and then they got rid of the clown pup, and then the tree came
Brian,
through.
why would you have that clown in the first place? Why would you have that
this is
thing
true.
sitting at the end of your bed?
I have a freaking one of those, like, somewhere over here. There it is right there. The ceramic one that I made, or porcelain one that I made as one of my college jobs.
Oh my lord.
Yeah,
But
but
that
you
thing-
made it,
that
so
scared
it's
the
your
crap out of me.
creation.
Like looking at the clown in bed, and then he rolls over, and then he looks back, and the freaking clown is gone, and then he's looking under the bed, and then as soon as he comes back from looking under the bed, the freaking thing wraps his hands around its face, and
It's
his
really,
face-
really.
oh.
The movie's really got jumps in
And
it.
I got up and said, I've
Yeah.
got to go pee. And it was really more just I got to get out of this theater.
Yeah.
It's one of those things when you see a scary movie as a kid, like I've only just got over having a gap under my bed and being able to step my legs out and leave my legs out there.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Like not having that thing underneath your bed that's going to suddenly grab your ankle or pull you under, or that stuff messes you up.
Oh yeah. No.
And, I have to remember also from last time, I think, Scott, you were asking what was the top grossing 80s films, and Brian, you were too. So number 1 was E.T., number 2 was Return of the Jedi, 3, Empire Strikes Back,
Yeah.
4, Batman, 5, Raiders of the Lost Ark, 6, Ghostbusters, 7, Beverly Hills Cop, 8, Back to the Future, 9, Indiana Jones, The Last Crusade, and number 10, Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom. So Steven Spielberg and George Lucas were doing pretty
They ruled.
well in the
They
80s.
owned.
Yeah, and
they
that sounds
owned
like
the
my
decade.
perfect Saturday all-day movie marathon
Yeah.
right there, what you just described.
I mean, they really own the decade, and in some ways, they still
They did.
own, because so many directors now are were inspired by them growing up and are now making movies, and they seem a lot like Spielberg and Lucas stuff. Like, it's crazy the impact they had. Anyway, all right.
Look, it's one of those things. I think it's a natural ability. You've either got it or you don't. There has to be a creativity, and it's like Quentin Tarantino or Martin Scorsese. It's already in them without having, or Brian De Palma, without having to go to school and learn it. You've either got that stuff or you don't.
Right.
Where to put the camera, how to make a movie, and the love of movies. How to frame a people. Shot. Yeah. All those people love movies. I mean, it'd be brilliant to be a great director, but you can want it and not have the ability.
That's true.
Okay, number 4.
All right.
Okay, so I think this is Brian.
4 evens. Yes, I'm odds. Scott's evens.
Oh wait.
Oh wait, because you just did the poltergeist.
Yeah, but I got it wrong, and then you got it wrong, and now it's your turn.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, but if this is question number 4.
5.
All right. Oh, this is question 5. Okay, I'm
5.
odds. Yeah.
5.
Okay. All right. I'm really sorry about this one. All right. What British film in the mid-80s starred Helen Bonham Carter, Julian Sands, Maggie Smith, Daniel Day-Lewis, and Judi Dench?
All right. So Julian Sands, Helena Bonham Carter,
Maggie Smith, Daniel Day-Lewis, and Judi Dench. This was quite a big movie. It was 1985.
Wait, that's not the whole cast. That's just some of the people you're mentioning, right? Because I think I know what this is.
It's the majority of the cast, and chat room's still giving answers. You naughty! I will find where you live and come over and smack your bottoms, all of you.
I'm not. See, chat room is still like over there. Right there is the chat room. So I'm looking here. I'm actually looking at Scott at the image of Scott. So
well, that would really blow my concentration. Yeah.
All right. So Julian Sands. All right. Well, he was in that boxing Helena thing, but that was 90s.
That was 90s.
There was some Changeling or the Wraith of the Phantom.
James Ivory movie. So it was one of those yuck old movies where they're all in the old-fashioned clothing.
Yeah. God, was it? No, Richard E. Grant was Lair of the White Worm, but it was something like that.
1985.
If I remember correctly. Jeez. Was it all right? I'm gonna just throw it. Was it the Changeling?
Nope. Okay, Scott.
Scott's got this.
I think it's shoot. The Changeling, you said.
So it's Helen Bonham Carter, Julian Sands,
hold
Maggie
on.
Smith, Daniel Day-Lewis, and Judi Dench.
We've seen
1985,
this. Right.
James Ivory directed.
We've seen this on Film Sack. I think I know.
Have we really? Okay.
It's well, I think we have. Is it Excalibur?
No.
Damn it!
It's A Room with a View.
A Room with a View.
Oh.
I've never seen this. I mean, I've heard the movie. Does somebody get stabbed in The Room with a View?
No.
Is The Room with the View where Steve Guttenberg witnesses a murder across the
No.
A Room with the View of the murder across the park?
You might remember the poster. It's got Helen Bonham Carter sort of in ye olde clothes, and it's got Julian Sands, and they're sitting in a meadow in grass that's way too long. And it's all that sort of, Howard Zen.
Wispy, right.
So the one movie,
I knew that was hard.
The one movie in that whole decade I would have avoided. I would not want to.
Right, exactly.
That. I would have watched it now.
Should I go see Temple of Doom again, or should we go see A Room with a View?
Yeah, just not.
To be honest with you, I was exactly the same. I only saw A Room to a View 2 years ago.
Oh, man.
I was all for all the actiony, sci-fi, horror. That was just me, and I thought I really need to start spreading my wings and watching some other movies. So I'm terribly sorry about that question.
I love the scene though in The Room with a View where Julian Sands comes out and says, "I did not hit her. I did not."
I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. By the way, I was thinking of Helen Mirren is in Excalibur, and I confuse her with Maggie Smith and Judi Dench all the time.
Oh, that's still my favorite King Arthur type movie.
It's good.
Is Excalibur.
Yeah.
I think
It's
awesome.
not First Night where Richard Gere plays an American Sir what's his face
we could do a list. It could be Valkyrie. It could be the submarine movie with Sean Connery of people that are meant to have a certain accent that do not have that accent.
Well, let's start with Robin Hood at the top of that list.
No, that thing starts and stops with Robin Hood. That thing he is the worst at it. But you're right. This thing had Patrick Stewart was in this. Gabriel Byrne was in that. We did film sack that, didn't we?
We did film sack Excalibur. And that was great.
All
yeah.
Right. Liam Neeson, I think.
Oh, well, I'll tell you right now that Room with a View is a massive orgy scene. So there's that.
Oh,
all right. Okay. I'm back in.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Oh, well, then I'm back out.
It's now streaming on Skinamax. Let's see.
All right, number 6.
To see if it is.
Give us
streaming.
number 6.
Oh yeah, there's the movie poster. I totally remember this.
Yeah.
Man, Helena Bonham Carter had some big hair.
Mm-hmm. I remember my mom being
always
into
had
it.
big hair.
Yeah.
That's true. Actually, she does. Yeah.
She's big hair by default, but my mom loved that movie. I do remember that. She thought Room with a what is it? Room Without a View? No, Room with a View.
Room with a View.
Yeah, Room with a View. She was super into it, and she was that was where I got any kind of contact with that part of the world. Otherwise, it was science fiction. It was Kroll. It was freaking RoboCop.
Is this the most English of character names? When Lucy Honeychurch and chaperone Charlotte Bartlett find themselves in Florence with rooms without views, fellow guest Mr. Emerson and son George stepped in to remedy the situation.
Wow.
So really, it's rooms without views.
Yeah.
Is according to this description here.
That sounds horrific.
It's only streaming
you can just see the car park or the laundry or something like that. From what I remember. Yeah, it's not much of a view. Number 6.
Okay.
All right. Number 6. Okay, so it is Scott.
Yeah.
It is Scott.
Oh, Scott, you get off easy on this one. Sorry, Brian.
That's all right.
All right, so who won an Oscar for A Fish Called Wanda in 1988?
That would have been Kevin Kline.
Damn right
Correct.
it was.
Yep.
Come on!
That was
what
a good
was his
one.
character name? Do you remember?
Oh, sorry, I gotta give myself
Sam Menfringensen.
Wait, what again? Say that again. What was the question? I missed it. What'd you say?
What was his character name?
His character name. I don't remember.
But Brian nailed it. It's Sam Menfringensen.
I don't remember it.
Or his real name was a palindrome.
Right.
If that helps.
That's a great movie. Still good. I love it.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All
right, Brian, number 7. All right.
Right.
Now this is a multiple choice. According to Vizzini in
how much money did Out of Africa make? The box office.
I had to throw one of them in. Give me a break.
Okay,
according to Vizzini, in The Princess Bride, what is the most famous of the classic blunders? Number 1, never go against the Sicilian when death is on the line. Number 2, never get involved in a land war in Asia. Number 3, always assume it's inconceivable. Or number 4, only local fishermen go out at night in eel-infested waters.
All right. Well, he describes all of those kind of leading up to number 1. Or no, not all of those. He uses inconceivable a lot, but he never describes as one of the classic blunders. But number 1 is the Sicilian, is never go head to head when death is on the line with the Sicilian.
No.
No!
Scott?
Damn it. Oh.
I have zero idea.
You haven't seen The Princess Bride?
I've seen it 1,000 times, and I don't know the answer to that question.
The iocane powder. Damn it.
He's got a few, but it was actually never get involved in a land war in Asia.
Really?
I don't remember any of that.
Yeah,
Why don't I remember that?
To be honest with you, Brian, I thought it was the never going into Sicilian when death is on the line as well.
Yeah, I thought he was leading up to that because that was kind of his thing, right? Like it was. Oh my gosh! All right. Jeez, I guess I need to see that one again.
That's another one.
This was his ultimate blunder as a Sicilian. Never get involved in a land war with Asia.
Wallace Shawn, man.
He's great.
Quite relevant.
That guy's great. Love him. All right.
Okay, Scott. Name one of the actors in the car at the beginning of Twilight Zone, the movie, 1983.
All right, I'm done.
I know the answer to this.
Only one of Scott's freaking favorite actors of all time. Come on now.
Can I say it without the multiple choice? Is that all right?
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
You only need one.
Dan Aykroyd.
Correct.
Correct.
Who's the other one, Scott? Who's the other one?
Do you want to see something really scary? Hold on. My brain just went blank. Who is the other one? Hold on. Oh my gosh, why can't I remember? Oh no, the other one's the director.
Albert Brooks.
Oh, Albert Brooks. Gosh dang it. I just saw him in Taxi Driver.
I actually would have said Daniel Stern, but you're right. It was Albert Brooks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my gosh. All right. I'll take that one.
Come on. Let's ask him a question about Kevin Costner next.
Yeah. What's the TV's Travis? What score do you have? Because I may have gotten lost. Is it 3-1?
I think it is.
I think it's 3-1. Is it 4? I don't think I've gotten 4.
4-1, because you got Kevin Kline too.
Oh right. I didn't write that one down.
I'm reading the chat room.
TV's Travis says 3-1. That's what I had. So
I think it's 4-1 because you had 3 that you got right and 1 steal.
Oh yeah, he's right. I did.
Yeah.
He's right. 4 okay, 4-1.
Come on, chat room.
Yeah,
maybe I will take that point for the tree and poltergeist. on further reflection.
The judges have reviewed.
Yeah, all of a sudden that answer wasn't too bad, was it? Yeah, all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I might take the point.
No. All right.
All right.
Question 7.
All right, number 9.
My obscure British
9.
movie question.
Sorry, 9.
It's actually not. You'll be really happy with this, Brian.
Okay, all right.
All right, what was the name of the fast food restaurant Prince Akeem and Semi worked in Coming to America?
Oh, I know this.
All right, so it was the one of the fake McDonald's restaurant, and I believe it was called McDougal's. No, it was not called McDougal's.
It was not called McDougal's. That was your answer.
I'll give you another chance.
No, I don't get another chance.
No, he screwed it up.
Go ahead, Scott.
It's McDowell's.
Yes.
McDowell's,
yes, McDowell's. Cleo McDowell, 1988.
watching Scott dance is like, damn it.
As you said it, I thought, oh my gosh, she's going to get this one. And then
I thought, yes, McDougal's.
I only do these questions to watch you boys dance. Yeah. That's I do it for the chat room.
I gotta see what did have McDougal's though.
Did something have a McDougal's?
Something that had a McDougal's. Yes.
You were on the right track, but Scott nailed it. It was McDowell's.
No, it absolutely was. Once I said it, I even knew it was wrong. I was like,
The score is 5-1.
I think you need to take my spot in the next Geek Bowl, Scott.
All right.
This is embarrassing.
I will tell you that Scott has been sending me checks.
Yeah. Full disclosure. Full disclosure. I've been buying my
laptop. Suck your toes.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Number what? 10? Is this 10th? Is this
it? It's debauched, man, I'll tell you.
What number are we on?
Number 10.
Okay.
Okay, so this is Scott.
Yeah.
Mathematically eliminated.
Who said in what movie, I don't know what the hell is in there, but it's weird and it's pissed off, whatever it is.
Weird and it's pissed off. Is this multiple choice or no?
No. So it's basically someone saying, I don't know what the hell's in there, but it's weird and pissed off, whatever it is. Think horror. Think 80s. Think horror. Think one of the best horror movies made of all time.
Best horror movies?
Mm-hmm.
Because my first inclination is not so much a horror movie as it is... Oh my gosh, dude. Okay. Carpenter movie.
Yes.
The thing.
Yes.
Oh!
Very good. Is that a Kurt Russell? Is that a Kurt Russell one?
Yeah, it's Clark.
Okay.
Clark, and it's the Huskies that are in the cage, and one of the Huskies has gone berserk.
Oh, right. Turned inside out, basically.
Yeah. It's brilliant. You know, Rob Bottin did all the effects for that, and it's just brilliant. And yeah, that's that great line that he says to Kurt Russell's character. So well done, Scott.
You know what? If I hadn't,
I'm glad you got that one, because I would not have been able to steal. My for whatever reason, I was stuck thinking Creep Show and that box that wooden crate that gets delivered to the house that's got the werewolf in it.
If we wouldn't have had a question about Poltergeist earlier, my answer would have been Poltergeist. And
really?
Yeah, I would have gotten it wrong. But because we'd already done it, I was like, well, it can't be that. So what is it?
No, I won't do a repeat movie in a question thing. So you're all clear there. All right. So well done. You got it.
Nicely done.
Was that was all 10 of them? Oh my gosh, you guys.
6-1, man. Holy cow.
Wow.
I bow.
Next month, Brian's got a major he's gonna make it even.
Exactly. I got a deficit to catch up to here.
I guarantee it'll happen.
I've got another 10 ready to go. So
sweet. Hold on to that because I love it, and we'll do it again.
Because you're winning.
Because I'm winning.
Exactly.
Let him
bask in the glow for the next 30 days.
That's right. I'm enjoying it. Well done. That's this. Gidget Von LaRue, found on the internet at Gidget Von LaRue on Twitter, right? You have just your name there.
Yep, Gidget Von LaRue with GIDGIT. And I'm at the Retro Cinema. And I need to give a big thanks out to TV Travis. And he had me on his podcast the other day. And we were talking about Vampire's Kiss, which is crazy. And he had all his mates on there as well. And we had such a brilliant time. So please check out TV Travis's podcast as well as the Retro Cinema.
Nicolas Cage thing, right? That movie?
Yes,
the one that you see all the best memes come from the Vampire's Kiss.
Yeah, we need to get. That needs to be sacked. That thing. We got to get that going. All right. Well done. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see
really
you
well
later.
Done.
Bye.
Thank you, Gidget.
Bye. She's fun to have on.
She is.
Yeah.
She's a hoot.
She is a hoot. We keep saying it, but it's true. That's why we say it. Because she's a damned hoot.
Couldn't say it if it weren't true.
Oh, look what we have no time for. Here's what we'll do. I'm going to do one. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to do one news story today because we don't have Wendy, so we kind of can control this a little bit the way we want to. Yeah. So I'm going to say it's time for this.
This is your radio newscaster with another exclusive, sensational summary of world and local events.
It's the news, and it's brought to you by.
Guess the Connection on Coverville tomorrow, 1 p.m.-ish. Going out to lunch tomorrow, so I'm hoping to be back by 1. I play 6 covers. You tell me what else they have in common besides the fact that they're covers and besides the fact that I'm playing them and blah, blah, blah. Twitch.tv/Coverville. Guess them right, win a prize.
That sounds awesome. Hey, I was, by the way, sorry, you were going to give a URL at the end, and I
think I already did. Twitch.tv/Coverville.
Okay, I didn't want to run over you there. I was scrolling back up through chat just seeing people's reactions and stuff, and they say I'm looking at you guys. I'm not. Look right here.
So right now you're looking at the chat room. That direction right there that you're looking at is currently.
Yeah, if I do this, this is chat.
Okay.
And Rusty Nail says he looked at the chat. I'm not looking at the chat. I got some wrong. I got like 3 or 4 of those wrong, or whatever it was.
All part of the strategy, Scott. Get a couple wrong to make us think that you're not looking.
Man, questioning.
And when I'm looking at the chat, it's that direction. So people just look at the way I'm looking right now. And that's my because I think if I was looking at the chat room, I would have done a lot better. So I think that's probably all the proof I need.
Yeah, no one's accusing you of chat checking, but I just minimized them and then opened it just now. So to you, nerds to you.
Yeah.
All right, here's a quick story we didn't cover yesterday. Actually, let me see which one of these I want. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do this one because it's going to horrify you.
Okay.
One in 4 delivery drivers admit to tasting your food before delivering it.
I know. This is nuts.
This is just those who admit it. So I guarantee you that number's higher than 1 out of 4. Those are just 1 out of 4 that admit it. I'll bet this thing's closer to 2 or 3 out of 4, and they just won't admit it.
Well, you never know. I mean, it might be. 1 in 4 is not bad enough, Scott. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
if it's an anonymous survey, then they might be more willing to say, "Yeah, I've eaten a French fry of that guy's Hardee's bag."
Yeah. Oh yeah. I guarantee it's more than this. But anyway, 1 in 4 delivery drivers admit to doing this, according to a new survey. Food delivery apps are becoming increasingly popular, even in suburban areas of the United States. What do you mean, even in? That's especially where they're big. That's a dumb way to say that.
Right, because if you're in the city, you could probably walk to most of these places.
Yeah, that's a dumb assertion. I don't like it. Now I worry about the integrity of the entire article from NBCWashington.com. Mm-hmm. Anyway, but is convenience worth it if the delivery drivers are sampling your diner's dinners? A recent survey conducted by restaurant food supplier U.S. Foods examined consumer and delivery worker habits and pain points. Pain points?
Pain points.
I've got 3 more pain points.
The older I get, the more pain points.
It's like what you get at like a S&M parlor.
All right, and how many pain points would you like?
Yeah,
okay, good. Do you have a safe word? Harder? I wouldn't use that one as your safe word.
Are you part of our loyalty program? If you have the card, we can save you 45% on the next whipping. Anyway, it says both ordering and delivering meals. The data revealed some unique insight as to how long people will actually wait to get their food, attitudes toward tipping, and more. Unfortunately, it also revealed these unsettling stats. For example, out of nearly 500 delivery workers surveyed, more than 25% say they munched on the food from an order. Apparently, the temptation of delicious meals is just too hard to resist, especially when it's not yours. To conduct this study, U.S. Foods surveyed 1,518 American adults who said they have used food delivery apps. Respondents age 18 to 77 with a median age of 31. They also surveyed 497 American adults who identified as having worked as a deliverer for at least one food delivery app. So this is, by the way, those responses had a median age of 30. These are just people who do driving for Uber Eats, for DoorDash, for Postmates, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
So this isn't about the pizza kid from 10 years ago. It's about the stuff you're doing now.
Yeah, current, like the new gig economy style food delivery drivers. Plus, I mean, the guy sampling, if somebody samples your pizza, I guess they can rip a pepperoni off the top of it. You know, it won't be that obvious, but they're not going to take a bite of and then kind of put the pizza back.
Right.
Although was there a movie we watched where the pizza guy took a slice of pizza and then arranged the other slices, kind of like separate them out to kind of fill the gap. Like basically we got this pizza where there was like a little gap between each slice of pizza. Or,
to make it look like it was just it's basically what Ernie did to Bert that time with the cookies. Do you remember that?
Right, exactly.
Where Bert would Ernie take a little nibble off and go, I better take that other guy because now it's uneven. And then by the time he's done.
Take a cookie, Bert. Oh no, Bert, I didn't do that.
Hey, Bert. Ernie.
I gotta send you a photo that so my we call her a niece, but she's a cousin, but long story. She sent a photo. I'm gonna copy this, and I apologize that it's the wrong direction, or maybe I can just drag it right into Discord.
Oh, I love that boy band though. The Wrong Direction, they're great.
Wrong Direction. Oh yes, they're the best.
They're something.
All right, so
you put this in.
You might
put
it right in here.
What's it called? We're using Discord.
Discord. I'm trying to, and it's not doing that.
It may not paste. You might have to drag.
Yeah, I might have to. Okay, so I have to drag it to my desktop and then drag it. So I'll do that. And if I'm doing it this way, then
sure.
Then I can rotate it, I think.
You were saying something before while you're doing that. What was I had something I was going to say.
Oh, the food sampling food and
no, it was something else. Okay.
There we go.
Oh!
Again,
do you think Bert ever complained that Ernie uses the bathroom with the door open? Do you think that ever happened in my apartment?
Ernie, you never replace you always leave one square of toilet paper on the roll. And
Ernie, shut the door, Ernie. Anyway, look at this. What's this now? It's not rotated.
So that is me in the middle. That is my Uncle George on the left, and that is Ernie on the right.
Oh my Lord! Yes. Hold on. Well, I have to share this.
Absolutely have to share it. Yeah. I'm bummed that I don't have the way my cousin took the photograph, though. It's sideways, so I think I'll
fiddle with
rotate it around in Photoshop.
It's super cute. Who's the other dude? Sorry, with you there?
That's my uncle. That's Uncle George, who you met in Vegas that one time.
Oh, right.
He and I. So basically, because my mom was working so much, single mom working all the time, I'd stay at my grandmother's house, and so her son, who was my uncle, became more of like a brother to me. We were closer in age. We're only 10 years apart, and so we did everything. We're into the same music and same movies and stuff. I mean, he was the one who who took me to see Poltergeist when I had to leave and go pee because I was scared peeless. But
wait, that's still kind of true of you two, right? You guys still kind of hang out all the time. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
More or less. He lives on the other side of the city, so we don't get to see each other as much. But we still do trivia every time together, and yeah.
That's awesome.
Anyway,
that's really cool. I had a brother, and he was 10 years older than me, but we were in different worlds, man. He just was, playing football, and we just never had. I don't know. We never had any kind of relationship like that. And it kind of bugs me. I mean, now we get along fine. It's not like that, but
sure.
I never really had a brother growing up. I had my brother Matt, but he came when he was like 10 from Korea and was always just kind of also in his own dimension.
Sure.
Because it's just different. And, he barely knew English and all of that. And then my sisters were my sisters.
Well, as you say, but you were close to your sisters, and as far as like doing stuff like that together, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I was the oddball though, because nobody else was into comics, cartoons, any of that, right? Like, I was the nerd, and they all just sort of dealt with me.
They just kind of put up with you.
Yeah. Nowadays we get along great, and everybody hangs out and does cool stuff together. But it's just kind of weird how that was growing up.
Yeah.
All right. I can't get this to work.
Real quick thing on this DoorDash deal.
Yeah.
The first company, or the first, and whichever delivery company does this first is going to have this $1 million idea. But use that special kind of tape where when you put the tape on, if somebody pulls it off, then it leaves stuff behind that says this bag has been tampered with.
Oh, right.
Like DoorDash says, all right, we're making special DoorDash tape that we give to each of the restaurants that we deliver for, and when they put the food in the bag, they turn the flap down, they put this tape on there, and that way if the driver does screw with it, then the person will be able to tell and they can refuse to take it.
I would agree, except think what that actually means in logistics. They have to work with every restaurant partner, get them the tape. They have to then train people to know how to use the tape. Oh no, we're out of tape. Where do we get tape? Get on the phone, call the people.
But no doubt this article going out has probably hurt those businesses a little bit, even if it's a little bit.
Maybe. My worry would be is our stupid little fees would go up. That would be my worry.
Oh, well.
Like
but would you pay an extra $1 for delivery if it meant that you had this kind of safeguard that you knew your sloppy, sweaty delivery driver hadn't licked your milkshake?
Probably, yeah. And that's the problem.
All right, drink it up.
They're making it bad for all of us. By the way, your photo's up. People can see it now.
Good.
That's Brian there in the middle there. What a cute little kid. Look at all that hair, dude. Jeez.
I know. I had lots of hair.
And that little and so who's controlling
naturally curly hair?
Who's doing the Muppet?
Who's controlling the puppet?
Yeah, it's
George is.
Okay,
yeah,
George has got
basically he's got his arm behind me and he's kind of got the puppet on the other side, probably saying, "Hey, Brian, yeah, look at the camera."
That's cute.
Yeah, I had a lot of reddish curly hair, naturally curly hair growing up.
I was a very curly haired kid, and mine was very blonde, but similar to that. Like that's my hair basically, except it was blonde at the time.
I have more photos that I'll share later on.
Oh, baby photos. Somehow. I like baby photos. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we will do Call Now. That's right. We're opening the phone lines.
Call now.
We're going to have you guys call in. Write this number down, 801-471-0462, and we'll take your calls here shortly, right after the break. The break being a song, and Brian brought one. What do you got?
I did bring one. I brought a song that is part of a new EP that's coming out this fall. Synthetic Soul is going to be the debut EP by a band called Child, or maybe it's pronounced Child because it has three eyes. A three-eyed child is what this name of this band name is. CHIIILD. They are from Montreal with kind of a cool soul R&B sound, kind of mixed with psychedelica. I totally dig this. Tame Impala is an influence. D'Angelo is an influence. This is the first single from their upcoming EP. It's called Count Me Out. And They've collaborated with folks like Skrillex, Diplo, Usher, Jacob Banks, Ali X, and more. This brand new EP is gonna come out this fall, but you're getting to hear this right now. Here's the brand new song from Child called "Count Me Out."
All right, we'll be right back.
Hey, I know what this is. It's whiskey.
Smells awful.
Well, all whiskey smells awful.
Then why do people drink it?
Well, it's like when grown-ups have a party. They drink it to have a good time.
Gee, if it's a party, don't they have a good time anyway?
Well, grown-ups have a harder time having a good time than kids do.
Ho, ho, ho.
I don't care. This is the morning stream.
All right, we're back, everybody. Welcome back to the program. Yeah. We are going to play this game.
Call now.
It's called Call Now for a reason. You guys call us on your phone, 801-471-0462. We take your calls. We listen to what you have to say. It could be a question, complaint, thought, deep or otherwise. We don't care.
Yes. Ask us about your favorite British movie from the mid-'80s where we were 15 years old and had no interest in seeing period pieces.
Right, exactly. If you want to quiz us even, that's fine.
Not at all salty. Not at all salty.
No, you don't sound salty at all. You seem like you're just great. Yeah, you're stoked. Look, I fully expect, by the way, you know how like if you flip enough coins, it'll be 50-50?
Right.
I fully expect you to win at some point so bad that I'm the one with, on the losing end. I guarantee it.
Oh, believe me, I'm, and for all the trivia I play, I'm certainly not at all thinking that I'm the master or the king of trivia. So this, I wonder actually how, if you had the odd numbered questions and I had the even numbered questions, I wonder how we would have done.
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
I think you still would have won, but I think it would have been a closer margin.
Could have been closer. Also, I have to admit, like the Spielberg one about.
No, I'm kidding.
No.
I'm kidding.
The Spielberg one about Always, total softball.
Yes.
Softball.
Oh, I know. And Kevin Klein. Come on.
That was
Dan
easy.
Aykroyd.
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd was a real gimme for sure.
Who played Grocer in the film Gross Point Blank?
It was just a bunch of Dan Aykroyd questions for the evens. That would have been really
right,
funny.
Exactly, yes.
All right, I think we have someone on the line. Hi, who's this?
It's Lucy from Oklahoma.
Oh, hello. How are you?
Hello.
I'm fine. Thank you very much. I love your podcast.
That's awesome. This sounds like a fake voice.
This sounds like an Australian doing an Oklahoman accent.
Yeah, it sounds like a fake accent to me. Is that true?
Well, why would you say that?
Jeez, I don't know. Hey, so what's your question?
I just want to know do you guys record in the same area?
Brian record. Yes. Well, no, we don't record in the same room. Brian's in Denver and I'm in Salt Lake City. So we're a state.
Record in the same state.
Yeah.
The same room.
So we're a state away from each other.
That's right.
About a 10-hour drive from each other. But he is easily the closest proximity co-host I have for anything. Nobody else is as close.
Oh, really?
As
That's interesting. I never even thought about that.
I mean, you're about the same amount. Well, you're about 2 hours less of a drive if I went to see Tom. So I can't. So I think that still counts you as the closest. I think.
Yeah.
Because everybody else.
Oh, okay. So I'm close by. So if I wanted to, could I come in and not be guest?
Well,
you'd have to meet us in Green River.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is our midpoint.
Yeah, we'll meet you in Green River for some sushi. All right, goodbye. Thanks for that call. I don't think that person was real. Hey, give us a call.
Well, I think they're real, but I don't think they're really from Oklahoma.
Yeah, I don't.
Maybe Sydney is my guess.
It did sound a little bit like somebody we might know. And she might be having a little more wine than she previously told us.
I think so. That's after how many she had between then and now.
Yeah, exactly. 801-471-0462 is the number. Oh, I have to turn the ringer on. Sorry. 801-471-0462. It can be anything, even that. You can even have a call like that.
Sure.
Remember that one
disguise
time?
Your voice if you're nervous. Sure.
Do you remember that time that kid called in and dropped the N-bomb? Remember that? And then I got in trouble.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
I remember Butt Nipple was another favorite bomb dropper.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Enjoyed that one. All right, I think we have a fresh one here. Let's see who this
Not
is.
the best one though, butt nipple. I mean, 'cause it's just so.
No, butt nipple's great.
So innocuous.
Everyone loves butt nipple. Butt nipple. Hee hee. Click it. Click. Hey, who's on the phone? Who's this?
Hey, it's Stephanie from Canada.
Hello, Stephanie from Canada.
Hey, Stephanie from Canada.
Nice to hear from you.
It's Stephanie Ray, CA, in the chat room.
That's right.
Yes.
I always think California, but it's Canada. I don't know why I do that, but I do it.
It is.
Anyway, what's on your mind today?
So I have a question. It's a parenting type thing, and since we were talking about horror movies earlier.
Yeah.
Now, my eldest, who's 9, she gets really freaked out by blood or even the idea of scary things, and she's at summer camp. Somebody watched a YouTube video. They hadn't seen it in a year, and anyway, some surfboard got into somebody's eye, and apparently he was saying, "Oh, no, it's fine because we're on vacation," or something like that. She couldn't sleep last night because she kept thinking about it.
Oh.
Now, I've tried telling her to change the story in her head or think of something else. Do you guys have any help as raising kids or that kind of thing to help them get back to sleep or help them get over or move on or change it?
How did Tristan do with that sort of thing, Brian?
You know, it's funny. I think more about how I did with that because I remember being on a trip with my mom and uncle. We take these drives across the country, and we were in St. Louis, Missouri, staying in a. We always stayed in crap hotels. Looking back at it, especially looking back at the photos and stuff. Mm-hmm. We stayed at a place in. This might have even been the place. It was in St. Louis, and it was called the Atlasta. Mm-hmm. And we were trying to figure out, and then we said, "Oh, Atlasta Motel." And it was really called the Atlasta.
Really?
Yes.
That's amazing.
And
I love that.
There was a news report that had some scary thing with a video of a guy getting shot. And looking back, it's like, how do they even show that on television? That freaked me out. But I can still even visualize it in my mind. And I think the thing is, and maybe you have a different response on this, Scott, is that there's always going to be that first scary thing that a child sees that kind of stays with them. They get over it. I got over it in a day or two, and it's no big deal. But it's still in my mind as the first scary thing I saw, but not like a, oh my God, I'm scarred for life. But I think it's just a matter of time. Couple days, she'll be fine. She won't think about it. She'll get some sleep. She'll probably have softened the image in her head. Well, this was like a real video of a guy getting a surfboard in the eye?
I'm not sure. It was somebody was showing at camp. It could have been I don't know. It could have been anything. Yeah. It sounded like a precursor to some kind of zombie movie, but I don't really know.
Yeah, it could have been a movie or something. Here's my take on this. Similar to Brian's, except I would, if I could do anything over for myself, well, it would be up to my parents to do this. But when I saw like The Shining for the first time, terrified me, stuck with me for years and years and years. It's only ironic that Brian tried out for the part of the kid now. Because that movie really got me. Oh my gosh! When he comes into the hotel, the guy, the other dude that has The Shining, Satchmo Baggins or whatever his name is.
Let's go with that. Sure.
He comes over. He comes to the building, and the first thing Jack Nicholson.
I didn't mean to, Mr. Frodo.
Yeah. He puts a big old axe right in his gut the minute he walks in there, and that stuck with me so bad. Frozen Jack Nicholson stuck with me for years.
Oh, the zombie naked lady that comes out of the bathtub.
Yeah, all that stuff. Just horrifying for a kid. Now, here's the thing. I saw that at some friend's house while his parents were gone. If that would have been a movie that I saw, if I was like, Mom, I want to see The Shining. If I'd have done that, my mom would have said, no way, you're not watching that. What I did with my kids is when Nick was like, kind of want to see, whatever it was, probably early Walking Dead when he was 10, I'd say, well, I'll watch it with you. How about that? And that always went better. Like, because he's not only got, it's still scary and it's still all that, but he's got his dad next to him and we can talk about it. And we can discuss it during and after. And I'm not saying parents should sit down to their first porn with their kid or something weird like that. That's not what I mean.
No. Yeah, and don't say, well, let's bust this horror cherry and make the kid watch The Exorcist tonight.
Right. Don't do that necessarily, but like You know, the best thing my parents ever did to me, one of the great things they ever did with me was when I was 15, Breakfast Club came out, and I was going to see it no matter what, and it was rated R, and they didn't want me going to rated R movies, but I was going. I didn't care. This was the voice of my generation. I had to see it, and they finally said, you know what, we'll go with you. It was the smartest thing they ever did, because I didn't have to rebel, I didn't have to cheat, I didn't have to lie. I got to experience that thing, and it truly was an important sort of shared experience for me, and I got to do it with my parents, and it made me respect them and like them more and all that other stuff. So in my opinion, I'm not saying you do it for them, but when they've got questions or curiosities or whatever, and this could be true of video games these days, television shows, that sort of thing, be there with them so that they're not lost in the wilderness going, Jack Nicholson killed that guy with an axe, and I don't know what to do or who to talk to, because if I tell my parents, they'll kill me. Yeah. Like, there's that feeling in a kid's gut, and you don't want them to have that as often as you can. Can you 100% control it? No. But I think you can. I think you can mitigate this quite a bit by doing that. Does that make sense, Stephanie?
Yeah, and just make them feel like they've got an open communication with you. They can talk about it.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. For her, it's more like it's almost bordering on like a phobia. So she just can't get over the idea of any blood or any scary thing. I mean, if she was curious about it and trying to talk to her about these things, but it's midnight and she's 9 and she's going, I'm uncomfortable and I can't go back to my room. And the strategies to give her to try and help quell her fears at the moment.
Yeah.
So that she can get back to sleep, or that 3 days later, or
well, that's the other thing to consider here is that you're dealing with specific phobias as well, and that's a little bit extra wrinkle in this. So here's the example I can share. My daughter Carter, who's now 21, wants nothing ever to do with zombies of any depiction. And I've talked about this briefly before, but she saw.
I did too, but it's because I'm sick of them.
She saw Zombieland of all movies, which is kind of goofy.
Yeah.
At a friend's house, but she saw it at a very impressionable age. I want to say she was like 7. And she saw Zombieland over there, and it really got her. Like these guys chasing people down in football fields, and also kind of the comedy didn't help, because at that age you're not getting the sardonic side of it. You're just like, why are they being so flippant about this horrible thing that has happened? Like,
it's funny because I would think that or Shaun of the Dead would be the right first zombie horror movie to see, because it does mix in all those comedy elements.
I would think so too. Like if you saw something that was super self-serious, I would think that would be worse. But in this case, it was worse because it's not just that this terrible thing has happened and that reasonable, normal people are now raving, bloodthirsty, brain-eating zombies. It's also that the survivors are kind of dicks. Yeah. And that really bothered her. And it would bother her in the same way that everyone's kind of a jerk in Walking Dead as well. It's like the same kind of thing, except the humor's not as prevalent in Walking Dead. But still, there's a lot of jerks that are humans. And she really dislikes that part of it, the breakdown of society. It's like genuine anxiety for her to think about those themes. And so, I tease her about it a little bit because Zombieland 2 is being made. It's coming out this year. And I've said to her before, hey, Zombieland 2, you want to go? And she'll punch me in the arm so freaking hard because she hated it. She just it really messed her up. And she loves things like post-apocalyptic, like Mad Max or whatever. That stuff doesn't bother her at all. The end of the world only bothers her in the zombie context. And again, it's because of when she saw it, who she saw it with, and it just stuck. And now it's like it freaks her out. I can't even, if we're out in the street, and let's say it's we're downtown Salt Lake City, and when I notice that one of the main roads is kind of slow, like there's no cars on it, I'll point it out. I'll go, oh my gosh, look at this over here. It's almost like the way it would be if zombies came or if the world ended. And then I realize what I'm saying, and I'm not trying to poke at her, but I'll realize what I'm saying as I'm saying it, and she gets really freaked out. She'd be like, oh my gosh, Dad, why are you bringing that up?
Stop it.
Let's not talk about it. So I totally get the whole anxiety angle. That will lessen with time, but the fact that you're talking about it, asking about it, and trying to help her in real time is all you can do and is the right thing to do.
My
humble
I mean,
opinion.
she'll eventually get 20, and it'll just be kind of a slightly poke, but not an earth-shattering thing.
Yeah, because it sounds like you're there for her no matter what. And I love that age group. 9 to 11 is like the best time to be alive, and she's gonna, there are gonna be other things that show up in her life, especially in junior high or middle school, that are like, oh, these are real. That girl's a super jerk, not like the, like all the stuff that she'll have anxiety about in fiction will slide away and make room for the real worries of actual, growing up life, and that will help probably even things out. And it sounds like her mom's rad, so she'll be fine. She'll do good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll let somebody else or call now to be over. So thanks a lot, guys.
Have a fantastic day. We'll see you, Stephanie.
Thanks.
Always good to talk to her.
Yeah.
We still got it open.
Call now.
If you want to call now, you got another 10 minutes or so to get your call in. And let us know what you think. Do you have a movie, listeners, that freaked you out and still does, maybe?
You think about it. And Carter will see Zombieland, at some point when she's 30 or 35 for her own movie Film Sack podcast made up of all of the offspring of the original Film Sack crew.
It'll be, it'll be like me and that weird one with the rocks that follow the RV with the old people in it.
Right.
I finally watched that and went, oh.
Mm-hmm.
Or The Shining that we watched for Film Sack.
For me, right?
Yeah, same thing.
Like seeing Poltergeist again.
Yeah, it's just like you get, and then you'll laugh at yourself and go, "Oh, childhood development, isn't it funny?" Ha ha ha.
That was such a dumbass.
Hi, you're on the air. Who's this?
Hi, it's Ashley.
Dude, can I just say how cool it is that today is an all-female call-in show? We haven't had any.
No kidding, yeah.
No dudes today. I love it. This is great. Anyway,
yes.
Ashley, what's on your mind?
Night.
Yeah, ladies' night.
Woo! Free drinks, but only for the ladies.
So you guys mentioned, I think briefly, the movie The Lair of the White Worm during the 80s trivia segment. Have y'all seen that movie?
No.
I saw it back in the day because, if I remember correctly, so it was Richard E. Grant, and it was based on a Bram Stoker story, if I remember correctly. Hugh Grant. That's right. Richard E. Grant. There was another one that had Richard E. Grant.
Yeah, it's Hugh Grant and Peter Capaldi.
Oh, really?
They're both like 22 years old. It's awesome. I just saw it for the first time like a month ago, and I loved it.
I've never seen this at all. Now you guys have me peaked. I mean, is it? Give me the.
I might be thinking of something else with Richard E. Grant that was that was based on a Bram. No, this is based on a Bram Stoker. So I'm thinking of the right movie, and there's another one like.
So hold on, Bram Stoker.
Richard E. Grant.
Did Bram Stoker wrote something other than frickin'
Dracula?
Yeah. I didn't know that. I thought that's all he did.
Yeah.
I thought he was like a one-shot pony, man. Or one-shot pony?
Yes. I saw this when it came out on video back in the late 80s. And for whatever reason, again, this might be me confusing with another movie, but the soundtrack was done by Thomas Dolby. And that was the primary reason I watched it. And I said, oh, this is garbage.
Really?
But I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking that I did see this one too, but I'm thinking that I might be thinking of two different movies.
So wait, what's the name of the movie again? Sorry.
Lair of the White Worm.
Lair of the White Worm. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there it is. It's a popular search term, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm all in on this. This
would be a perfect film sack.
Yeah, why don't we?
It really would. You're gonna love it.
All right. Oh yeah, look at this. Oh my gosh, Hugh Grant's like 5 years old in that. Well, not really, but he's very young.
They're so little, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a scene where he no spoilers, but there's a scene where he chops a worm in half, and he's with a sword, and he swings around so hard that he crashes into his drum set, and I fell out of my chair laughing. It's so good.
That's amazing.
It's such a good movie.
So Richard E. Grant was in Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah.
That's not the one I'm thinking of. There's another one, The Serpent's Kiss, maybe?
Maybe. Wait, Richard E. Grant was the one that was just in that movie last year that got all the praises. He's drunk all the time with
Yes.
What's her beak?
With Melissa McCarthy.
Okay. That guy.
The fake person. Doing fake things.
Doing fake stuff. Fakery.com.
Can you ever forgive me?
Can you forgive me for all my fakery? That's the one.
I'm thinking of The Serpent's... No, am I? Maybe not.
Yeah, I'll have to. Well, anyway, this is good. Hey, you got me on the right track. I'm going to watch The Lair of the White Worm thanks to this call.
Yeah, I hope you guys like it. It was such a pleasant surprise.
All right. I'm going to check it
out.
By
the way, this is Jackalope Ashley we're talking to right now, who is the only person who's ever watched a film sack movie with me besides my wife and the three of you.
What movie was it?
Punisher.
Oh, for Nerdtacular that year.
For Nerdtacular Film Sack, and I want to say that she even came up with a couple of the things that I used and gave her credit for.
You stole your joke.
I gave you credit. I'm sure I did.
Did you? Wait. You tell me what was the joke, Ashley? What was the joke on stage?
Oh God, I don't remember.
Oh, do you remember, Brian?
I have no idea.
Do you remember the joke?
I totally don't remember. It was probably something about a greased up Dolph Lundgren greased up. No, not Dolph. Was it Dolph Lundgren?
Yeah.
Who was in the Punisher that we watched? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we watched both Punishers. We did the 2004 one as well, but the Nerdtacular one was Dolph Lundgren.
The Nerdtacular one was the Dolph. But I was thinking, I'm thinking of Dolph from Masters of the Universe, but
which we also
he
did.
just happens to, which we also did for Nerdtacular.
Yeah. In fact, he's the most returning of our subjects for Nerdtacular Film Sacks. So well done, Dolph Lundgren. All right. Well, Ashley, it's always good to hear from you. I hope you're having a good day.
Totally.
I am. Thank you.
We'll talk to you later.
I found the movie that I was thinking of. It was called Gothic. And this was the movie when we were talking with Gidget that I was thinking of because it's Julian Sands. And this one's based on, and it's got Thomas Dolby did the soundtrack. And it's like another, it's based on Mary Shelley. Like Natasha Richardson plays Mary Shelley. Gabriel Byrne is Lord Byron. But it's like about a little horror thing. With monsters that
I'd watch it.
Yeah,
you're describing a thing I
remember it being horrible as well. Gothic with a C, not Gothic with a K, which was was that Jennifer Lopez? Gothic with a K?
I have no idea. Oh no, you're thinking of The Cell. Isn't that The Cell?
Oh, I'm thinking of The Cell. Who was in Gothica though? That came out right around the same time.
Oh my gosh.
K.A. Oh yeah, it was sunburned booby lady.
Right. Halle Berry. Yeah, sunburned booby lady, and Penelope Cruz and Robert Downey of the Juniors.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, this is. Anyway. Oh, Charles S. Dutton. I haven't heard of this. Why don't I see this?
Gothica?
Yeah. Is it good? Is it dumb?
Did we not watch this for Film Sack?
No, I don't think so. Gothica 2003. No, we have not seen this. I just checked the RSS. We have never seen Gothica.
Nope. Okay. Well, there's another one we need to do.
The only. I mean, we've seen the ultimate bad Halle Berry movie, which was Catwoman, and that was just the most garbage thing I've ever seen.
This one is pretty close to garbage.
Is it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it.
We need to stop. We need to stop letting Randy pick, and we need to pick some of these like Gothica and Lair of the White Worm and Poltergeist.
I kind of agree.
I'm kidding. Randy does some great movie picking. I like picking on Randy.
Sure. We like picking on him as he picks films.
That's right.
That's going to do it for today, everybody. Thank you for being here. Wendy will be back next week. She's in Chicago today doing stuff, and that's why she wasn't here. Thank you for your calls today. I really appreciate it. That same number can be used to leave us voicemails if you'd like to. 801-471-0462. I'll read some of those or play some of those early next week, or maybe even on tomorrow's PM edition. I don't know. We'll find out. I don't even want to think about by the time we get to where we are today and next week, I'm going to be a mess because my wife will have been gone for like 7 days.
Oh my God, for 4 days, yes. And there won't be a show next Friday, but that we can talk about next week.
Yes, there will be no PM next week. And wait, what's the deal with the Monday after that? Are you back then?
No, I'm still gone that Monday.
You're gone till...
I'm gone Friday. I'm gone Friday through Monday.
Friday, right, you're back Tuesday. Is that the deal?
Yes, okay. I'm back. I'm back Monday afternoon, but I'll be back for TMS Tuesday.
He'll be back in the most Arnold of sense.
And I sure hope there are stories. There better be stories.
I guarantee there'll be stories. You're going to be lazy rivering through bugs. It's going to be great.
I know.
I checked with somebody down there. Who wrote me? It wasn't Mitsula. We should check in with Mitsula.
I do want to check in with Mitsula. I think that there's obviously a lot of grasshoppers, but I don't think it's like everywhere you go you're walking through 2-inch thick grasshopper carcasses.
No, it won't be that bad. Also, I mean, it's really the only time you're outside is to get somewhere to somewhere, but you're in buildings, like you're not going to be.
Exactly. And Mandalay Bay makes enough money that they can keep the pool area relatively clean.
Yeah. You sound like
sweep
you said
up the bugs.
It's almost poo area, which I enjoyed.
The poo area. Yeah. Keep that poo area clean.
That's right. Hey, that's it for the show. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We really appreciate it. Also, send us those emails, themorningstream@gmail.com. Love getting those. If you want to support the show, it's a brand new month. This is the perfect time to get in. If you have yet to do so, that's at patreon.com/TMS. For those that support us, thank you. And we apologize for always reminding you about a thing you already do. But hey, we love that you did, and we really appreciate that you do, and keep doing it. And those who haven't, consider it. Patreon.com/TMS. Yeah.
Those who are already doing it, just take your either hand, whichever is your dominant hand, put it over your shoulder, and pat yourself on the back.
Oh, yeah, look at that. You go. I can go all the way down to my middle.
Really?
For whatever reason, I can get my arm way back here.
I can just get to my shoulder blades.
I think when I was a kid, I fell asleep like this a lot. And so
really?
Yeah.
Oh my God! And you didn't wake up like not able to move your arm?
No, but I think I created like some nice distance of rotation on my shoulders because of it. Because there's other parts of me I can't do that. I can't touch my toes, for example, bending over unless I bend my knees. I can't do it. But everyone else I know can. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I can't do it either, so if that makes you feel any better.
Frogpants.com/TMS is our website. That's it for the show.
I can touch other people's toes.
And you shouldn't suck them. That's what we've learned.
If we learned anything else.
Yep, that's the one thing. All right, today at 1, you'll be on the deal. So
nope, tomorrow at 1.
Oh, sorry.
Fridays at 1 p.m. is...
I keep thinking I think today's Wednesday for some reason. I know why, because we had no show Tuesday. It's just throwing me off. We're like
That's right.
day
Messed
behind.
Everything up. Yeah.
Anyway, that'll be tomorrow. I don't know what's going on with the instance tomorrow because I think at least Garrett's here. Patrick's. You know how these Europeans take vacations? It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
They take like 2 months off. I don't know how they do it. Especially him. He's like me. He's just running his own little business there. I don't know how he just takes 2 months off, but there he is doing it.
It's not as bad as China, where every Kickstarter seems to stop production for the entire month of February.
Yeah, Chinese New Year shuts that whole country down.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah,
I guess they're used to it. Anyway, so that'll be a thing I think tomorrow, and then today Frog Pants plays. It does happen at noon. I've got a brand new horror game donated by Kei Katsumi, who
cool.
sent it in. I forgot the name of it. Anyway, it's somewhere here. I may play that, or I may show off Rebel Galaxy if it's indeed installed, which I got a press copy of, which is like 2 weeks ahead of release.
Oh, nice! Wow.
Either way,
you don't have an NDM that you can't show it or anything.
No, they say it's all open for press and streamers to if they get a key. That is, they can totally show it off. So
nice.
I want to do that. I may do that today and then start the horror game next week. I don't know. I'll let you know. But today at noon, we'll be doing that, and then Film Sack this weekend. We're back.
Yeah.
We had
back in the house.
We
might even have to do 2, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll work that out. But last week we had to do. One of us had a funeral. Another one was traveling. We just could not get a time to work in the weekend. It was just one of those summer things. So we're gonna crank it out this week, and it's still House, the '80s movie House.
Not with Hugh Laurie.
Kei Katsumi says I'm supposed to finish Pillars 2 first. No, I'm still playing Pillars 2, but I'm not necessarily streaming it in its entirety. I mean, I'll stream it here and there, but I'm not really doing a series of that. But I'm still playing it. It's really good. All right, Brian, that's it. Do you want to sing us a song or play one? You get to choose.
I'm gonna my choice. I get to choose.
Yeah.
Flip a coin. Oh, landed on heads. It looks like I'm gonna play a song.
Okay. All right, that's fine. Yeah, there's always next time.
Bruce wrote in and said, "Good morning. I know many Tadpoolers are fans of Adam Savage and the Tested Crew, so they probably know that Simone Yetch, a.k.a. the Queen of Shitty Robots, announced a couple months back that she's been diagnosed with a golf ball-sized tumor behind her eye. Sounds like the prognosis is good," he says, "but I'm sure she could use some sort of good thoughts sent her way. So Tad vibes, send your Tadpool, send your Tad vibes her way. And in honor of her, I'm going up, and I know this is kind of an older request. It was a month or 2 ago, but I checked, and she's going through treatment for it, and has even done some cool maker stuff that kind of supports scars in her eye and stuff.
She's great. She is one of a kind. Great. Yeah, really cool.
Yeah, and now because she's Swedish, let's go with a band called The Black from Sweden. I think they're just called The Black or The Black Sweden. These guys do, speaking of makers, they're amazing makers, and they do mashups of ABBA songs combined with classic rock and heavy metal. In this case, it's ABBA and Deep Purple with a mix of Smoke on the Water and Mamma Mia.
Wow. All right, here it is. We'll be back tomorrow, TMS PM, 3:30 Mountain Time. We'll see you then. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Film sack, right?
Actually,
I'm not film sack. Toy Story.
Toy Story.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Yeah.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
I can't remember who did it though. Who's doing the voice? Because it's the shark.
The shark, right? That's all he can say, or something, right?
Yeah.
Like shark
or either that, or he's in the. Oh no, I know what it is. He's in the toy box. He has one of Woody's hats on, and I think he says something like, "I'm a cowboy.
Yes.
Howdy, howdy, howdy," or something like that.
That's exactly right. Yep.
He's the best thing in that movie. All right. We are now to a point where we can do a thing that we do.